The massive spacecraft appeared without warning, materializing above Tokyo Bay like a second moon. Commander Takashi Yamamoto stood at the JSDF command center, watching as the vessel's obsidian surface reflected the rising sun. 20 years of military service hadn't prepared him for this moment, humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," Lieutenant Nishi reported, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. The message, it's in perfect Japanese. The alien transmission echoed through the command center, "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Voidborn, travelers of the great expanse. We come seeking trade and mutual prosperity." Within hours, similar messages played across every nation, each in the local language. The Voidborn, as they called themselves, claimed to be part of an intergalactic trading consortium. Their timing couldn't have been better. Earth was facing unprecedented resource shortages and environmental challenges. The UN Security Council convened an emergency session, and Takashi found himself among the handful of military leaders chosen to meet the aliens. The Voidborn representatives, tall humanoids with silvery skin and liquid metal eyes, spoke of technological wonders beyond human imagination. "Your world possesses remarkable industrial potential," their lead negotiator, who called himself First Speaker Zin, observed. "We offer an exchange, our advanced manufacturing techniques for your raw materials." Dr. Naomi Watanabe, Earth's leading quantum physicist, studied the preliminary specs they provided. "This technology, it's centuries beyond anything we've achieved. The applications are limitless. The global economy transformed virtually overnight." Voidborn fabricators appeared in major industrial centers, converting existing factories into hyper-efficient production facilities. Cities flourished as new industries emerged, unemployment plummeted, and environmental damage began to reverse thanks to their clean energy systems. Takashi, however, couldn't shake his unease. During a late-night inspection of Tokyo's newly converted manufacturing district, he noticed something odd about the production patterns. The new factories were incredibly efficient, yes, but their output seemed adaptable. Too adaptable. He shared his concerns with Dr. Watanabe over dinner at a quiet ramen shop in Shinjuku. "These facilities," he said, keeping his voice low, "they're not just making consumer goods. The underlying architecture, it's modular. Military-grade modular." Naomi nodded slowly, pushing her glasses up her nose. "I've noticed something similar in the quantum matrices. The systems aren't just advanced, they're designed to be weaponized. Every single innovation they've given us has dual-use potential." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Marcus Henderson, the UN's chief industrial coordinator. His face was ashen. "You need to see this," he whispered, sliding a tablet across the table. The screen showed production logs from facilities across the globe, all running the same strange diagnostic programs at precisely 0300 hours UTC. "They're testing us," Takashi realized. "Every factory, every new piece of technology, they're measuring our capacity for weapons production." Naomi's hands trembled slightly as she analyzed the data. The efficiency algorithms, the materials science breakthroughs, they're not random innovations. They're carefully chosen to enhance military production capabilities. "But why?" Marcus asked. "They're already so far ahead of us technologically. What could they want with Earth's manufacturing capacity?" The answer came 3 months later, when Takashi's team discovered a hidden transmission in the Voidborn's regular data bursts. Dr. Watanabe worked through the night to decrypt it, and when she did, her face went pale. "They're not traitors," she whispered. "They're weapons dealers. And they're not just measuring our capacity, they're advertising it. Earth isn't being upgraded, we're being transformed into a showroom. A demonstration model for other alien civilizations looking to build their arsenals." The revelation hit them like a physical blow. Humanity had welcomed the Voidborn as saviors, but they were actually arms dealers, preparing Earth's industry for a much darker purpose. Every technological gift had been carefully chosen to showcase Earth's potential as a weapons manufacturing hub. As Takashi stared out over the glittering expanse of Neo-Tokyo, watching automated factory complexes churn out civilian goods, he realized humanity had unwittingly become part of something far larger and more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The question now wasn't just how to stop it, but whether they could do so without revealing that they'd discovered the truth. The first phase of Earth's transformation was complete, but a new battle was just beginning, one that would require all of humanity's ingenuity and determination to survive. As dawn broke over the horizon, Takashi, Naomi, and Marcus began planning their resistance, knowing that the fate of Earth's independence hung in the balance. The underground bunker beneath Mount Fuji hummed with activity as Dr. Naomi Watanabe examined the latest production data. 6 months had passed since they discovered the Voidborn's true intentions, and what they'd learned since then was even more disturbing. "Look at these output matrices," she said, gesturing to the holographic display where Commander Takashi and Marcus stood. "Every civilian product has a warfare application. These agricultural drones can be converted to weapon platforms with a single software update. The new water filtration systems? They're perfect for processing weapons-grade materials." Marcus ran his hands through his graying hair. "It's happening everywhere. Rio, Detroit, Shanghai, every major industrial center is being optimized for military production. But that's not even the worst part." He pulled up a new set of data streams. "We're detecting quantum entanglement signatures in every piece of Voidborn tech. They can remotely activate or deactivate anything they've given us." "A kill switch," Takashi muttered. "Insurance against rebellion." Their clandestine resistance group had grown carefully over the past months, incorporating trusted scientists, military personnel, and industrial experts from around the globe. They called themselves the Earth Defense Initiative, EDI, operating in absolute secrecy while maintaining a facade of cooperation with the Voidborn. A young Indian quantum programmer, Priya Kapoor, burst into the room. "You need to see this," she said, quickly connecting her tablet to the main display. "I've been monitoring deep space communications. The Voidborn aren't just advertising our manufacturing potential, they're already taking orders." The screen filled with encrypted transmissions, partially decoded. Various alien civilizations were negotiating through the Voidborn for Earth's future production capacity. Some wanted autonomous combat drones, others requested biological weapons, and still others sought planet-killing superweapons. "They're selling us like a factory franchise," Marcus said, disgust evident in his voice. "Once their upgrades are complete, they'll start forcing us to produce weapons for whoever pays them the most." Takashi studied the tactical implications. The Voidborn are creating a arms manufacturing hub, with Earth as the production center. "We're not just being exploited, we're being turned into a focal point for galactic conflicts." A warning light flashed on Naomi's console. "Speaking of conflicts." She pulled up a live feed from one of their hidden monitoring stations. A second Voidborn ship had entered orbit, larger than the first. "They're accelerating the timeline." The team watched as massive cargo containers descended from the new vessel, landing at designated industrial sites across the planet. Inside each container was new technology, more advanced than anything they'd seen before. But now they recognized the pattern: every innovation was designed to enhance Earth's weapon-making capability. "We need to act," Takashi said firmly. "But we can't tip our hand. If they realize we know their true purpose, they'll likely activate their kill switches and take direct control." Priya spoke up, her eyes bright with an idea. "What if we could use their own systems against them? I've been studying their quantum networks. They're incredibly advanced, but they follow predictable patterns. If we could introduce subtle variations in the production lines." "A ghost in the machine," Naomi finished, catching on. Small imperfections that look like normal manufacturing variations but would render any weapons produced fundamentally unreliable. Marcus nodded slowly. We could also start secretly stockpiling certain materials, claiming they're being used for authorized projects. Build our own insurance policy. The next few weeks were a dangerous dance of deception. On the surface, Earth's industries continued their apparent cooperation with the Voidborn's plans. New factories rose, production rates soared, and the aliens' representatives made regular inspections, seemingly pleased with humanity's progress. But beneath this compliant exterior, the EDI worked tirelessly. Priya and her team developed sophisticated algorithms to hide their subtle sabotage. Naomi's research group studied every piece of alien technology, looking for weaknesses. Takashi coordinated with military leaders worldwide, preparing contingency plans. Their biggest breakthrough came when Dr. Watanabe discovered something extraordinary about the Voidborn's quantum kill switches. They're based on a fundamental misunderstanding of Earth's magnetic field, she explained to the team. They assume our planet's electromagnetic characteristics are static, but we know they're dynamic. If we could amplify certain natural variations, we could potentially neutralize their control systems, Priya finished, already running simulations. But time was running out. More alien ships arrived weekly, and the Voidborn's demands grew increasingly explicit. They began requesting prototype weapons, testing Earth's manufacturing capabilities. Each successful test brought more orders from their interstellar clients. The EDI faced a terrible choice: continue their subtle resistance and risk discovery, or take more dramatic action while they still could. The decision was made for them when Marcus discovered a hidden countdown in the Voidborn's production schedules. 3 months, he announced grimly. That's when they plan to begin full weapons production. Once that starts, they'll have too much control for us to stop them. Takashi looked around the room at his fellow conspirators, the brilliant scientist, the dedicated programmer, the resourceful administrator. They represented humanity's best hope for independence. Then we have 3 months to prepare our counterstrike. We'll need to coordinate with every EDI cell globally. One chance to take back our planet. As they began planning their resistance, a third Voidborn ship appeared in orbit, its massive silhouette a dark reminder of what they faced. But for the first time, Earth wasn't as helpless as the aliens believed. In labs and bunkers around the world, humanity was preparing to show the galaxy that Earth wouldn't become anyone's weapons factory. The hidden price of the Voidborn's gifts had been discovered. Now it was time to present them with humanity's bill. Operation Shadow Strike began at midnight Greenwich Mean Time. Across the globe, EDI cells activated their carefully prepared countermeasures. In the depths of Silicon Valley, Priya's quantum algorithms began their silent infiltration of Voidborn networks. From Tokyo to London, from Sao Paulo to Dubai, humanity's covert resistance emerged from the shadows. Phase 1 initiated, Priya announced from her workstation in the Fuji bunker. Quantum interference patterns are masking our activities from their monitoring systems. We have approximately 6 hours before they might detect the anomalies. General Ibrahim Rahman, the newest addition to their core team, studied the global tactical display. A veteran of cyber warfare, he'd brought crucial military expertise to the EDI. Manufacturing facilities in 37 key locations are now running our modified production protocols. The Voidborn's weapon designs are being subtly altered. Dr. Watanabe monitored the quantum readings carefully. The magnetic field fluctuations are working. Their kill switches are experiencing intermittent failures, but it looks natural, like solar activity interference. The plan was audacious in its complexity. Rather than a direct confrontation, they were fighting a war of subtle sabotage and misdirection. Every weapon component produced under Voidborn supervision contained hidden flaws, every system they installed had secret backdoors, and every piece of data they received was carefully curated. Status report from Beijing, Marcus called out, reading from his secure terminal. Director Lin's team has successfully modified the molecular structure of all metal alloys being produced in the Asian manufacturing belt. They appear perfect in standard tests, but under actual combat conditions, they'll fail catastrophically, Takashi finished. And it'll look like simple material stress, not sabotage. The resistance had learned to be creative. In Indian tech hubs, programmers introduced subtle bugs into weapon targeting systems. German engineers modified power distribution networks to include hidden vulnerabilities. Brazilian scientists altered chemical formulas just enough to render them ineffective without changing their surface properties. But the Void-born weren't fools. By dawn, their inspectors had begun their daily rounds. First Speaker Zin is conducting a surprise inspection of the Moscow facility, General Rahman reported, tension evident in his voice. If they detect our modifications. Everyone held their breath as they watched the inspection through hidden cameras. The Void-born representative moved through the facility, his liquid metal eyes scanning everything. He paused at a production line, running his sensor over a batch of civilian drone components. Your efficiency has improved, Zin commented to the facility manager. Most impressive. Priya's algorithms were working, showing the Void-born exactly what they expected to see. But the close call highlighted the dangerous game they were playing. We need to accelerate our plans, Takashi said once the inspection was complete. They're getting more suspicious, and their deadline is approaching. Dr. Watanabe brought up her latest research. I think I've found something in their quantum communication network. They use it not just for control, but for their entire strategic planning. If we could access it, we could see their full deployment schedule, Priya finished, already working on new code. Maybe even their contingency plans. The breakthrough came 3 weeks into Operation Shadow Strike. In a secure facility beneath London's financial district, British physicists discovered a way to intercept void-born quantum transmissions without detection. What they found confirmed their worst fears, and offered unexpected hope. They're preparing for a massive weapons demonstration, Marcus explained during an emergency meeting. They've invited representatives from dozens of alien civilizations to observe Earth's first official weapons test. That's when they plan to take full control. But that's also our opportunity, General Rahman pointed out. All their attention will be focused on the demonstration. Their security protocols will be at their most vulnerable. The EDI began preparing for their most daring move yet. While maintaining the facade of cooperation, they started positioning their assets. Resistance cells worldwide coordinated their efforts, preparing for a single, synchronized strike. Dr. Watanabe and Priya worked around the clock, refining their control over Earth's magnetic field. They discovered they could create localized disruptions, potentially neutralizing void-born technology in specific areas while leaving human systems unaffected. The key is in the quantum entanglement signatures, Naomi explained to the team. Their technology relies on maintaining precise quantum states. If we can disrupt those states in a controlled manner, we can shut them down without them realizing why their systems are failing, Priya added. They'll attribute it to natural phenomena. But as they prepared their counterstrike, the Void-born made their own move. New ships arrived in orbit, carrying what appeared to be monitoring equipment. In reality, they were weapon platforms, insurance against any potential resistance. They're not taking chances, Takashi observed grimly. They must suspect something. The EDI's network of informants reported increased void-born activity worldwide. They were conducting more frequent inspections, installing additional control systems, and demanding accelerated production schedules. Time was running out. The weapons demonstration was scheduled for the following month, and the Void-born were already preparing their sales presentations to potential buyers. Earth's future as a galactic arsenal seemed increasingly certain. But in hidden facilities around the world, humanity's resistance grew stronger. Each close call taught them more about their adversaries. Each inspection helped them perfect their deception. Each new piece of void-born technology gave them more tools to use against their would-be masters. "We're almost ready," General Rahman announced during their final planning session. "When the demonstration begins, we'll have one chance to show the galaxy that Earth isn't for sale." As the meeting concluded, Takashi looked at his unlikely team, the brilliant physicist, the master programmer, the strategic general, the resourceful administrator. They represented humanity's finest qualities: intelligence, creativity, determination, and courage. The Voidborn had chosen Earth as their weapons factory because they saw humanity's potential for production. They were about to learn that humans could produce something far more powerful than weapons: resistance. The day of the weapons demonstration dawned with an artificial serenity. 12 massive alien vessels hung in Earth's orbit like dark stars, each carrying representatives from different galactic civilizations. The Voidborn had arranged everything perfectly, or so they thought. Quantum signatures detected from all observer ships, Priya reported from the EDI's new command center, buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice. "They're running full-spectrum analysis on everything we do today." Dr. Watanabe monitored the complex web of electromagnetic fields they'd spent months preparing. "Our planetary defense grid is masked and ready. As far as their sensors can tell, Earth is exactly what they think it is, a compliant factory world." General Rahman studied the tactical displays showing EDI assets worldwide. "All resistance cells report ready. The Voidborn's inspection teams are exactly where we want them." The demonstration was scheduled to begin in Beijing's massive new industrial complex. First speaker Xin stood before the assembled alien delegates, his silver skin gleaming under the artificial lights. "Honored representatives," he began, his voice translated simultaneously for both human and alien audiences, "welcome to Earth's first galactic weapons exposition. Today, you will see why this world represents the future of military-industrial production." Through hidden cameras, the EDI team watched as Xin guided the delegates through displays of Earth-manufactured weapons. Each prototype was actually a carefully crafted decoy, designed to fail in subtle but catastrophic ways if ever used in combat. "The humans have exceeded our expectations," Xin continued proudly. "Their industrial capacity, combined with our technology, has created the perfect manufacturing center. Observe this automated defense system." Marcus couldn't help but smile grimly. If they only knew how perfect our deception really is. Every system being demonstrated had been compromised. Every weapon contained fatal flaws. Every piece of data had been manipulated. But the real operation was happening far from Beijing. While the Voidborn showcased their supposed control over Earth's industries, EDI cells were making their final preparations. In secure facilities worldwide, humans worked with their own versions of alien technology, versions they'd spent months perfecting in secret. "Quantum field fluctuations increasing," Dr. Watanabe announced suddenly. "They're preparing to activate their full control protocols." This was the moment they'd been waiting for. The Voidborn planned to demonstrate their absolute control over Earth's manufacturing capabilities by simultaneously activating every production facility on the planet. "All teams in position," General Rahman confirmed. "Waiting for your signal, Commander." Takashi took a deep breath. Everything they'd worked for came down to this moment. Initiate Operation Phoenix. Across the globe, EDI operators activated their countermeasures. The magnetic field disruptors came online, creating carefully calculated interference patterns. Priya's quantum algorithms began their work, intercepting and modifying Voidborn control signals. In Beijing, Xin raised his hand dramatically. "And now, honored delegates, witness the full potential of Earth's industrial might." He sent the activation signal, but nothing happened as planned. Instead of weapon systems coming online, Earth's factories continued their normal civilian production. The kill switches failed to respond. The control networks showed green status indicators while actually running EDI protocols. A temporary system fluctuation, Zin assured the increasingly restless delegates. Allow me to. That's when Phase 2 began. Hidden defensive installations emerged from their camouflage. Not the crude weapons the Voidborn had provided, but sophisticated systems that combined human ingenuity with reversed-engineered alien technology. Quantum shields active, Priya reported. Their control signals are completely blocked. Dr. Watanabe's voice was triumphant. The magnetic field modulation is perfect. Their technology is being selectively disrupted across the planet. In orbit, the alien ships suddenly found their weapon systems unresponsive. Earth's atmosphere had become a quantum interference zone, rendering their advanced technology unreliable. Attention Voidborn Command, Takashi's voice boomed through every communication channel, in all languages. This is the Earth Defense Initiative. Your control over our planet has ended. On screens worldwide, humans and aliens watched as Earth's true capabilities were revealed. The Voidborn's weapon factories transformed before their eyes, production lines reconfiguring to show their actual output, not weapons of war, but advanced peaceful technology. You sought to turn Earth into your arsenal, Takashi continued. Instead, you gave us the tools for our liberation. Every weapon you thought we were building was a carefully crafted fake. Every system you installed has been under our control for months. The alien delegates muttered among themselves, many seeming impressed rather than angry. The Voidborn had promised them a weapon factory, but they'd found something far more valuable, a civilization capable of outmaneuvering one of the galaxy's most sophisticated species. First speaker Zin stood motionless, his liquid metal eyes reflecting the chaos around him. Impossible, he whispered. Our control was absolute. No control is absolute, Dr. Watanabe's voice joined the broadcast. You understood our technology but not our nature. Humans don't just manufacture weapons, we create solutions. As the sun set on humanity's last day as a perceived vassal state, the EDI team watched their years of planning bear fruit. The Voidborn fleet hung powerless in orbit, their weapon platforms reduced to expensive orbiting art installations by Earth's quantum defense grid. But this wasn't just a victory over would-be oppressors. It was humanity's debut on the galactic stage, not as a weapons factory, but as a civilization to be reckoned with. Send the final message, Takashi ordered. Across every channel, in every language, Earth made its position clear: we are not for sale. We are not your factory. We are humanity, and we choose our own path among the stars. The week following Earth's revelation became known as the 7 Days of Change. The Voidborn fleet remained in orbit, powerless but present, while representatives from dozens of alien civilizations requested diplomatic meetings, not with their would-be weapons suppliers, but with the humans who had outsmarted them. Another diplomatic request, Marcus announced, scanning his quantum-enhanced display in the Antarctic Command Center. The Centaurian Confederation wants to discuss technology exchange. Peaceful technology this time. Dr. Watanabe looked up from her work calibrating Earth's new planetary defense grid. They're more interested in how we modified their quantum systems than in the weapons they originally came to buy. Ironic, isn't it? The EDI facility had transformed from a resistance headquarters into humanity's first interstellar diplomatic center. Alien delegations arrived daily, eager to understand how a supposedly primitive species had managed such an elaborate deception. The Voidborn are requesting another meeting, General Ramon reported, his usual stern expression softened by a slight smile. Their terms are getting more reasonable. Takashi nodded, remembering their first negotiation session. The Voidborn, stripped of their technological advantages, had initially threatened retaliation. But their position weakened dramatically when their former clients began viewing Earth as a potential ally rather than a resource to be exploited. Tell them we'll meet, Takashi decided. But this time, in New Delhi. It's Dr. Kapoor's turn to host. Priya had become Earth's leading expert on quantum communications, her understanding of alien technology now surpassing that of its creators. Her work had been crucial in maintaining their deception and was now instrumental in establishing new, secure channels of interstellar communication. The meeting in New Delhi marked a turning point. Under the dome of a converted void-born factory, now serving as an international technology center, humanity presented its terms. Earth is opening its doors to galactic trade and cultural exchange, Takashi announced to the assembled delegates. But we set the terms. Our industries will produce what we choose, for the benefit of peaceful commerce and scientific advancement. First speaker Zin, his silver skin dimmed by what seemed like resignation, spoke carefully. You understand that your actions have disrupted established galactic trade patterns. Many worlds depended on our services. You mean your weapons, Dr. Watanabe corrected. Yes, we understand. That's why we're offering an alternative. The alternative was revolutionary. Instead of weapons, Earth proposed a galactic technology exchange program. The planetary defense systems they developed by combining human innovation with alien tech had proven more advanced than anything in current use. Other breakthroughs made during their resistance, in quantum computing, energy production, and materials science, offered new possibilities for peaceful development. Your mistake, General Rahman explained to the gathered aliens, was thinking we could only manufacture weapons. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our ability to make tools of war, it's our ability to adapt and innovate. The evidence was all around them. The massive factory complexes the Voidborn had built were being repurposed. Where weapon assembly lines once stood, new technologies were being developed. Clean energy systems, advanced medical equipment, faster-than-light communication arrays, all products of humanity's creative repurposing of alien technology. We're establishing the Earth Innovation Exchange, Marcus announced, pulling up holographic displays of the new initiative. A platform for sharing technological advancements across civilizations, with safeguards against military applications. The response exceeded all expectations. Within months, Earth became a hub of peaceful technological development. The very features that had made it attractive as a weapons factory, its diverse industries, adaptable workforce, and creative problem-solving approaches, made it ideal for collaborative innovation. Dr. Watanabe's team made breakthroughs in quantum physics that revolutionized interstellar travel. Priya's work on secure communications created new foundations for galactic cooperation. Even the Voidborn, gradually accepting their new role, contributed their centuries of technological knowledge to peaceful purposes. 1 year after Liberation Day, Takashi stood at the inauguration of the first Galactic Science Academy in orbit above Earth. The space station, built from converted Voidborn vessels, symbolized humanity's new role in the cosmos. We turned their weapon factory into something far more powerful, he mused to his team, watching ships from across the galaxy dock at the station. We built a future. Dr. Watanabe smiled, her eyes on the quantum field readouts that now protected Earth from any future attempts at control. We did more than that. We showed the galaxy that true strength isn't in the weapons you can build, but in the choices you make. The former resistance leaders had become humanity's guides into a new era. The EDI transformed into the Earth Development Initiative, coordinating humanity's contributions to galactic civilization. Their bunker beneath Mount Fuji became a museum, a reminder of how close they'd come to becoming another civilization's arsenal. As Earth's night side passed beneath the station, billions of lights twinkled across the continents, not the fires of weapon forges, but the illumination of progress. In orbiting shipyards, vessels were being constructed not for war but for exploration. In converted factories, new technologies were being developed not to destroy but to connect. The Voidborn had sought to make Earth their weapon factory. Instead, they had inadvertently helped forge something far more powerful, a unified humanity ready to take its place among the stars, not as an arsenal for others, but as architects of their own destiny. Send the signal, Takashi ordered, and across the galaxy, Earth's message blazed along quantum channels. Welcome to the future. Let's build it together.